Hello. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about what I do for work, and kind of turn that into a persuasive argument, an argument that we've been trying to release to the public, to builders, to architects, to engineers, to the International Building Code, to the energy codes, pretty much trying to change the way people think about this certain topic. So I work at ISI Building Products, and I work in the engineered films division of that company. We've been in business for 20 some years. A lot of what we do is manufacture construction products. In my specialty, engineered films, which an engineered film is basically you have little plastic resins and it's blown into a extruding machine, which kind of blows a giant bubble of plastic and turns it into a roll of plastic. So what we do is we sell this plastic into the construction, agricultural, industrial, and residential markets. So let's break into it. According to according to EPA, which is U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, and the Surgeon General's office, there's 20,000 lung cancer deaths each year, and these are caused by radon. Nearly 1 in 3 homes have over the EPA's recommended action level for radon, which is 4 PCIL, which is picocuries per liter of air. So it's funny because a family who is above that is approximately 35 times as much radiation as a nuclear regulatory commission would allow if the family was standing next to a fence of radioactive waste, which is insane. So if you think about this, in an elementary school student that spends 8 hours per day and 180 days per year in a classroom with that amount would receive as much as 10 times as much radiation as a nuclear regulatory commission allows at the edge of a nuclear power plant. So that just kind of puts it into perspective of how much radon is coming into 1/3 of the homes in America. So what I'm going to try to do is explain how using a cheap and passive solution in the pre-construction phase, such as a high-performance vapor barrier, and making this an industry standard in all future builds could prevent this from happening. So breaking right into it. The standard right now in the International Building Code is a 6 mil polyethylene sheet is required below every home that is built. So right now, what a 6 mil polyethylene sheet is about 90% recycled material, and it's a very cheap material. It's readily accessible everywhere. Yeah, it's convenient, but it doesn't really serve a long-term goal. So a 6 mil polyethylene sheet is going to break down, and we've done research as within in-house research in my company. It's going to break down between 30 and 40 years. And that's if it doesn't puncture or do any of those things before the concrete's even poured on the foundation. So the standard for polyethylene sheeting is the ASTM, which is the American Society for Testing and Materials, is D4397. We would like to get the standard for the residential code switched to E1745, which is the standard for plastic water vapor barriers. So if this change was made, I'll explain a little bit about what is better about a high-performance vapor barrier. So a high-performance vapor barrier is made with 100% unrecycled material, and what that does is it basically makes it unbiodegradable, so it's not going to break down over time. The other benefits a high-performance vapor barrier has is that the puncture resistance on this material is so much higher that when you're installing it, you're not going to puncture little holes in it, which basically defeats the whole purpose. So that's kind of a baseline of what you can do to prevent some of these things. So like I said, the current residential code calls for 6 mil poly. I would be arguing to the American Concrete Institute, to the International Building Code, to the International Residential Code, Energy Efficiency Code, that we upgrade this to a minimum of a 10 mil, and we'll call it a Class A vapor barrier, which if a vapor barrier meets a Class A standard, it's going to have a very, very low water vapor permeance, which means that it's not going to allow toxic gases and allow radon, allow methane, allow moisture to come into this building space. So some of the things that we see going on right now with homes that don't have this under them are mold, radon, carbon monoxide in your home, and other toxic chemicals. And it's been shown that these are coming up through your foundation, through your concrete slab, because you don't have that layer of protection underneath that slab. The effects of moisture in a house can be, like I said, you get that humidity. That's kind of what causes mold. If another thing right now, builders aren't even aware of some of these issues. So I would like to work towards educating the market on these issues, to educating that we need these vapor barriers below slab. So some of the struggles that I have are educating the market, and I encourage everyone out there, kind of to wrap this thing up, to check the air quality of your home. There are certain active solutions that to radon and methane in your homes. There's some active solutions. You can put a radon system in your basement, and it can actively remove these toxic gases from your home without actually doing a pre-construction phase passive solution. So I encourage everyone to do that and stay safe, check your air quality, and let's change the industry standards on this thing.